Travis when he gets home. They're cleaning the showers in the background. That's the noise you hear. This morning, one of the guys OD'd in my dorm. He's still alive, but he'll be going to jail or get a citation at least for the drug use. There are just too many people who are in denial of the danger of drugs. And then there's the police and the shelter that are in denial of the harm that it causes to those who don't do drugs. Too many people do not care about science. They've abandoned it despite graduating from high school and getting higher education, and many of them are in fields requiring some level of knowledge of science. And it's religion that has been the biggest damage in the world in its history to science. And Constantine has been the biggest blow to science. If you're unfamiliar with the Dark Ages, that's what happened after Constantine created Christianity and Jesus, turning the scriptures, which were apocalyptic literature, into literal history. Thus, Jesus, who was a symbol of the man like Moses, the Jewish Christ, into a real person lived during the Roman period time. And that's anti-Semitism, because they replaced the Jews and the Jewish scriptures and the Jewish Christ, and then punished the Jews because, having replaced the Jews with literal history, their scripture, they now believe that the Jews were the ones who murdered their Christ. It's just all sick and wrong. When people deny history, deny science, deny truth, so that they can perpetuate their lies upon other people. And I have no problem with Christianity following the teachings of Jesus as recorded in the Gospels. There's nothing wrong with that. It's when you start turning the characters that were never intended to be real into real people. You create an idol god. And then you start enforcing your idol god and their practices and beliefs upon other people. That was not the intention of the teachings of Jesus. And Christians have long lost their way, as the Dark Ages just completely, literally was a loss of the Spirit, despite the creation of Christianity. And so, likewise, Joseph Smith, it's a historical fact, was Jewish. The whole Tree of Life, the Book of Mormon saying is Jewish, and it's a manner of prophesying, which means it's apocalyptic literature, which is why, quoting from Revelation, where they give a star date, means that the Book of Mormon is talking about a specific time in the future. And I've gone over with you the real church history with Canandaigua, New York. And I can't break the wall of YouTube that seeks to silence me and then taunts me with their little questionnaires. How are we doing for you as a creator? Take our little quiz about your feelings. Yeah, I've got feelings, and I can't use them in a video on YouTube. But, I mean, dear God, it This church is night and day with Joseph's church. And I can't get past the wall of Mormonism. They refuse, just like Christians, to accept that Joseph Smith was Jewish, that their religion is Jewish, that their Christ is Jewish, that their scriptures are Jewish. And Mormons just refuse to believe in science, logic, truth, reality. Would rather believe in a supernatural, spiritual witness feeling than deal with reality. And they don't get it. Once you introduce the supernatural into an argument, into a discussion, you become the crazy person because you're not talking sensical. You're talking nonsense. You're denying the harm that this church is because it's anti-Semitic. By turning Joseph Smith into a Christian, by turning his literature, the Book of Mormon, into Christian literature about the literal history appearing of Jesus in America, and having Jesus as your Christ, you are evil. You're abominable, as Joseph Smith tells us in the first vision. That's why he says Christianity is an abomination. Their creed's an abomination because they are anti-Semitic. They hate, and they enforce that hate with violence. And that's what I'm seeing here. The church turned this shelter into a weapon. So this morning, the exposure to the drugs again started up the diarrhea. Had a bloody nose this morning. Had a headache all day. Nausea. I can't have dinner tonight because I'm not going to throw up. And then we had the overdose. This place is a weapon. It's been weaponized with a chemical weapon. And other people are noticing it. Those who leave and then come back, this building is contaminated. It's not individuals passing it to people. And the police won't shut it down. The shelter won't do a test. Because they know it's going to hit the news. They're going to be shamed and humiliated. The church is going to be exposed. I'm the only one who made that connection, guys. You notice that? Nobody else makes the connection. Everybody else thinks the church is great for donating $3.3 million. You all forget that Mormons pay tithing. So Gail Miller or Rick Foster, who's the actual church representative for this place as a trustee, you guys aren't making the connections that I am. And the news is supposed to be making those connections for you, but they're not, are they? Nobody wants to go up against the church. And everybody keeps telling me, you can't win against the church, so just leave. And I tell them, I can't leave. I have to give up anthropology, my career, because the church will always hunt me down and silence me. It's by going online that upsets the church. My number one video on this channel was way back in 2017. That's when the church realized that I was back again. After locking me away for 6 years of my life, I got out, and they realized I didn't learn my lesson. Because I went into science. I found out Joseph Smith was right, and I had no clue that it meant the church was wrong. But because they did what they did to me, I pursued researching church history. And with my knowledge of anthropology and the tie-in with the scriptures and Joseph Smith, I was able to put it all together, because it's all tied together. Canandaigua, New York, September 11th, 1826.